Thank you for the introduction. Let's see, we got a presentation, that's great. So my name is Jacob Lachmann, I'm the CEO of Audience Project, and I come from a country where it's cold and rainy for 7 months a year. So I was looking forward to go to Spain, and here we are, 9 degrees, and it's raining sideways. Great. Anyway, so to give you a little intro on Audience Project, a short rundown. What we do is we create, validate, distribute, and measure audiences. We do it cross-device and cross-media, which is probably why I'm on this panel. And we do it real-time based on real people. And we work with a number of the bigger players in the ecosystem. We're mainly a Nordic business, but we've entered the UK market and the German market lately as well. So to get back to the topic of what we're talking about today, it's cross-device and cross-media. So a little step back and looking at what is this fuss about cross-device. And really, these are the 3 traditional devices that we think of when we think of devices. The mobile phone, the tablet, and a computer. And the challenge is that we have very different behavior on all these devices. So we have one type of behavior on the mobile phone, we have one type of behavior on the computer, and we have one type of behavior on the tablet. It means that if you just look at the behavior, we would show up as 3 different people. So that's for the devices, but it actually is more complex than that. So we also have several IDs that are based on what we do on these devices. So all of the apps have their own IDs, and it challenges a lot of different things. In measurement, which is what we're talking about on the previous panel and also a little bit here, it means that you cannot do a frequency correct if you don't know who it is that you're talking to. If you would have a frequency of 3 if you look at this picture. In reality, it would be 1 person. It's the same when you're doing targeting. It's very hard to do targeting for young women if all of a sudden the segment you bought ends up on one of the 2 other devices. And so there will be a mismatch if you don't get it right. So the whole drill is basically to tie all the different IDs to 1 profile. And if you can do that, you're back to where you want to be, where you have the same person across all the 3 devices. And now you can start targeting, you can start measuring, and you will get your frequency right. And some of the companies that are really, really good at this are companies like Facebook, for instance. We've done a lot of studies for them. And inside their environment, they have total control across the devices, which means that on average, what we've seen in the Nordic region, they're about 2.6% better at reaching the correct target group, which in terms means that they use 2.6 times less inventory to make the same reach. And it would probably be the same for Google. They also have the massive data ecosystem across the devices. So, but this is only half of the topic. So when you start talking about cross-device, there's a number of new devices that steps in as soon as you started talking about cross-media. So we are doing a project that we've been working on for 9 months or so with a company called Finecast, which is a Group M company, where we are helping them build a measurement product around their addressable TV. And it's a whole other host of problems that we step into when we do that. There's a whole new set of devices that have a different nature from the 3 classical devices. So we're talking about devices without a display where you have it's very hard time to link personal data or social demographic data to. So it's devices like the Apple TV, the Roku, the ViewView, the Xbox, PlayStations, and others. So what we tried is to, as a first step in helping out the media measurement, is to tie these devices to panelists. And I'll give you, I'm glad that there were so many people that raised their hands when someone talks about jigs. So the next couple of slides are a little under the hood of how we do it, so I hope you can follow this. But basically, what we've done with, in this case, an auto client, we've done several studies of these, which you will see later on, is basically a drill to tie the impressions down to registered panelists. And we're doing it through a device Graft technology that we built and allocated data to. And it basically helps us be able to understand which panelists devices belong to by using unique nodes and cut away work nodes as opposed to home nodes. So we've classified all the users that we see in our ecosystem into homes and work nodes. And then we have some transportable nodes, which we're not so interested in. It's more about understanding the homes and the works. Then you understand which devices belongs to which home. And then we look at the devices we can tie to the homes, and within those devices, we can add data from panelists to a number of them. So basically it trickles down from the 650,000 impressions. We have 2,200 panelists that we can see, which makes a perfectly fine sample size to say something meaningful about this campaign. And we've done a number of different campaigns, and the method is quite proven at the moment. So we now measure addressable TV on the non-classical devices in the same way as we do across all the other classical devices. So the last part of what we're talking about here is where we step from the cross-device into the cross-media part. So that's a bit of the perspective here. How do we get that right? There was a very nice conversation on the panel just before. How do you combine online video, addressable TV on various devices to actual linear TV? And we've been working with a model in the Nordics for a couple of years now where we work with a TV analytics company called TechEdge. That they handle the TV analytics using local TAM data like BARB data and others, and we deliver the whole digital side and then we fuse it on their side. So using that solution, we actually deliver measurement across the 3 different types of video. We deliver planning across the 3 different types of video. On the back of the measurement we do, we can deliver reach curves on digital medias, and we can put that in a planning system along with the TV medias. So the only thing that we're missing so far is the targeting, which is kind of hard on the linear piece. It's easier on the digital side. So for me, I think that is kicking off a cross-device and a cross-media discussion here. And I'm very proud that I actually did it 30 seconds faster than planned. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, Jacob.